Hey, welcome back to another Chess Survivors. No, Hexagod devlog. My name is Aarimous. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today I want to talk about a patch that just went live and go through all the changes and talk about the design principles and ideas behind them. And the first and foremost thing, if you've been a longtime viewer, I made it turn-based mode. This has been a system or an idea that's come up many times and I've strongly considered, but I don't know why I had this like mental inertia of, oh, my game's backbone is in a real-time pausable game where there's 100 seconds in a turn and everything's built upon that. Take the time to experiment with the game. I could have back when I did this tried out turn-based mode to see if it's fun or not. It quite frankly only took me about a week to do, and then I also did more improvements on top of that. But I want to encourage myself to experiment more with those ideas because I'm not sure about you, but I definitely need to feel things in my game to know if they work or not. I can have an idea and I can make a big long list of all the pros and cons of making a decision. I love lists. I love overanalyzing it, but eventually the rubber needs to meet the road and I need to feel the idea in the game. I don't know am I the only one that feels that way? Like I can't necessarily, I'm not a good enough designer yet to just say, I know the implications of this. I know the feel of it by just thinking about it and experiment. I need to play with it a little bit. So that's what I did in this last patch. So the biggest, simply put, the biggest change, now there is an end turn button. There's 6 turns in a day by default. There's going to be also a fun building called the sundial where you can increase the number of turns in a day, which I think is a fun way to lean into the turn-based mode. And when you click end turn, your villager will apply their work. Furthermore, how do you move villagers around? You simply pick them up and you drop them where you want to be. Kind of like a roller coaster tycoon where you could pluck your guests up in roller coaster tycoon and drop them into the lake if they're unhappy, or move them to, I don't even know where you'd functionally want to move them. It's just a fun mechanism that I played a lot with as a kid and I want to have in my game as well. So press the space bar to end the turn really quickly as well. And then you can kind of just snap your way through if you don't have anything, any processing to do. You just kind of go to next turn, and you're good. You're on your way. The other big thing that I did here is I have worked on the UI and kind of reorganized it. I'm going to constantly keep reorganizing it. If you are a UX UI designer, send me a mock-up of where things could be located, because right now, this is going to be about the most information that is going to be on the board. So we have quest information in the top right. We have tile information above me, resources on the very top way up here. And then we also have kind of basic villager information, how much food you're going to need for the day, your villager population, number of tiles, just kind of abstracted information that I don't want to make you have to count your tiles to know that. And then, of course, you have the current turns in the day number. And down here, we have a bunch of different tabs for all the various tile improvements you can make. So if you have ideas, mockups, I'm more than willing to hear your sort of feedback. The other really big quality of life change, which I'm really excited about, is this more dynamic placement. So previously, I kind of locked these groups of tiles, these diamonds of tiles, into specific locations, basically gridding it out. I wanted to make it so that if you place tiles down, it would kind of tile the space perfectly and you wouldn't end up with these like weirdly shaped islands, but islands are weirdly shaped. And the cost of it was kind of ruining the tile-based, the cost of it was ruining the freedom of placement. Now you can place them, like previously you could place probably here, or here, but now you could place it kind of on these diagonal spots and really then min-max and just find a little bit better adjacency bonuses, because again, adjacency bonuses are huge in this game. A lot of the buildings, like a good example is going to be Berry Bush. Berry Bush gains an extra food yield per adjacent grassland tile. So if I wanted to go ahead and play a grassland tile, let me grab 2 favor. Berry Bush is now playable. You can see as we pop up here, you can see the actual, this will be the whole yield of it. So again, trying to take out some of that mental processing because this is supposed to be a chill game. If we go ahead and place this down here, and then, oops, we got to grab some more favor, which we're not going to be able to get. So we need to get 2 food for this end of the turn. We'll grab more food here. End turn, grab another favor, and now we can play the Berry Bush. You can see now this is a +4 because it has 1 for default, and then it's adjacent to 1, 2, 3 other berry bushes. And again, as always, you might be able to say, okay, well, why don't I always play in the 4? Well, if you play in the 3, you actually get that food for free. So it kind of gives you basically 10 free work there. And that scales up. So if there was 3 or 4 food underneath that grassland tile, boom, you'd get 3 or 4 food, which I think is a fun little thing like that. So all things considered, I think this patch is pretty good. There's some other changes I want to make. So when you grab the villager, it highlights basically how far they can move. Very similar to like a Civilization 6, but it uses the dotted line mechanisms. I kind of want to do a border around all of the tiles. My brain's not that big, and so I'm not sure how to do that. Maybe some sort of a shader, or I could use some sort of pre-built math of how to make that dotted line kind of go to all the vertices of the various in-range hexagons, but I'm not exactly sure how to do that off the top of my head. And so for this proof of concept of turn-based mode, this works. You can drop them off, and then it'll consume some of the work costs, and then if you keep moving them, you can see that the range starts to go down. So I'm probably at some point going to need some sort of a UX to show you how much the villager has left for movement cost, but maybe not, since now, like, if you were to move somebody, you can see, okay, I can't really move them anywhere else other than the current tile they're in. Each tile is going to have different movement costs. So a hill is 3, grassland is 1, and then I think the total is 3 movement cost. So you could basically move 3 1-cost tiles or onto a hills and stuff like that. So the balance of all this stuff is going to change over time. What I'm really looking to understand from your feedback is, what do you think of the turn-based mode? I think I kind of like it, but I'm also skeptical because I can't really play my game. I'm way too close to it. I know the balance. I know my intentions with the different things. So quite frankly, that is where I need your help. I'll be live over on Twitch after this video goes live if you want to chat about it. I'm going to be digging deeper into the system designs and getting feedback, and then building out some ideas for kind of the last big patch, which is going to be December. So I want to get this game out in March, which means December is the last kind of systems month where I'm going to be able to make some big changes like this, or revert turn-based mode if y'all hate it. And then finally be able to start going into the polish mode, where we're going to add in music and villager animations and art for the various buildings and stuff like that. So that'll be January, February, and March will be polishing, balance, and all that sort of stuff. So I'm very excited to get this game out the door. Again, go play it over on Steam. Make sure you wishlist it. And if you are working on your game this weekend, good luck. Game dev's hard. Life's hard enough. Be gentle with yourself. Find moments to take breaks. Like I just got my new Steam Deck in the mail, so I'm both doing research by playing Balatro for the first time on this to understand how to make games that are more playable, because I think this is a growing sector of game players, and I want to get that Steam Deck verified on Hexagod. So that'll be fun. I'll be playing Path of Exile. If you're also playing Path of Exile 2 this weekend, good luck. I'll be posting comments down in my Discord about fun things I've found, or uniques and stuff like that. So should be a good time. I've been Aarimous. I'll see you over on the Twitch stream. Bye-bye.